Anothersole came to us and joined our consulting firm, and they were absolutely crushing it in the Singapore market with over 500,000 pairs sold, and they wanted to enter into the US market. And they started with us when they were only at $11,000 in sales per month. That is very low. We ended up scaling them to $320K a month in less than 4 months' time, in a brand new market they had never entered before into the US. That is a 27x revenue growth, a 6.5x lift in conversion rate, and they did $725,000 in sales in those first 4 months of working with us. And they've been trying to break into the US market for a while, but was struggling with exactly what to do. And one of the main bottlenecks was their conversion rate. They had a 0.26% conversion rate. That is very hard to scale. And they had no creative testing system. They had a handful of ads running, and they were burning through them. They had no protected testing budget, no kill rules, no pipeline of fresh concepts and formats to be able to test. And Singapore was in a decline, and they were looking to actually move heavy into another market to expand. Their MER went from a 9.8 to a 3.5, despite scaling spend by more than 60%. And they had the wrong ad account structure. Everything was in CBO. They had no creative testing. They had friction across their website. There was broken pop-ups. There was no full width, and their email list was sitting idle, and the flows just weren't optimized to their full potential. And as you can see, where they quite literally started with us and how they scaled up over time and started absolutely crushing it. And one of the main things that we did to be able to plug this as a solution was creative volume. And we rebuilt their entire website funnel, and we went through an actual playbook per market to be able to scale. So we rebuilt for controlled, not just conversion. So we had a creative testing strategy that we implemented, so they had regular creatives coming in. That's where we started going from 15 to 30 new concepts every week, so that way we could actually deploy creatives fast enough to rapidly increase spend and scale up to $1,000 per day in spend. And one of the big breakout moments was Benny himself, the founder, where we made a founder-led video, and that did a 7% click-through rate, 60% hook rate, and became an anchor for the entire account. Founder-led stories are one of the fastest ways to crush it and be able to scale. And then we started launching statics, comparisons, flat lays, UGCs, carousels, and narrated third-person scripts, and adjusted exactly how they optimized their account so that way they could actually achieve their targets. And we rebuilt the entire path from click to checkout on their website, going through all their site imagery, their page structures, exactly what their add to cart needs to look like. And then the actual offers and depth of the back end for how we structured emails and made the flows so that way every person who went to the site opted in is more likely to convert. And then we expanded into 5 more markets with 5 different playbooks. And this is their store right here. And just some of the metrics, literally from 11,000 to 320K per month, 27x revenue growth. They went from a 0.2 to a 1.7%. They went to a 4x ROAS and went from 4K spending to 25K in spend per week at scale, and had a creative testing pipeline all in place to be able to do this. So if you want to learn exactly how we do this with brands, go ahead and book your demo call with our team, and we will walk you through exactly how we can do this with you as well.